Welcome back to Dodgy Punts, Just the Tips. My name is Liam. That is Jesse, and we are here to tip all the upcoming action of round number 18 in the AFL season 2024. Close competition. Jesse, would you like to tell everyone about our housekeeping? Get that done. You're very good at it. Tell everyone where they can find us.
I'm a world-renowned... Well, I'm not going to reveal my address on YouTube, Liam. That's actually highly inappropriate. But you can find this show on YouTube for the Just the Tips edition. You can also find our main Dodgy Punts AFL podcast on your preferred podcasting provider, whether that be Spotify, Amazon, or Apple. They're the only three that I'm currently aware of. And you can also make sure you're following us on Instagram at Dodgy Punts. Now, Liam.
Yes, mate.
I've house kept, but I am confident you can explain the next part. Take it away.
I can. I'm fairly certain I can too, Jesse. I'm also confident that I can. So we've taken a little bit of a turn with our tips this year. Sure, you can just do the thing where you tip a team and you get a point for that team. Boring. We're changing AFL tipping for the better, I find, and we're introducing confidence points, which I can thank Stephen Larson for, my friends, my friends now over in America who do the Going Raw Wrestling podcast. Yeah, sure, they're my friends. And essentially, here's how it works, Jesse. There are 9 games. You assign each of these games a unique confidence point depending on where you think it ranks in terms of confidence. The game you're most confident in, you give it a 9. The game you're least confident in, give it a 1, and then every number in between. You cannot repeat numbers, as you know.
Can I go above 9? If I'm supremely confident. Okay.
You cannot. That's a good idea for next year, though.
One side 4,000 confidence points in this round.
That'd be a game changer. We should have like a Joker card that one time you play during the year where you get like double points for that one game. Oh, I like that idea. We might look into that for next year when we do this for the whole year. And who knows, maybe we'll invite you guys to get on board as well. But that is how confidence points works. Now, we have 2 competitions going on this year because obviously the first half of the year was just regular tipping. And then from round, I think, 15, wasn't it, Jesse? We started doing the confidence points. So here are the current scores. For the tips, Jesse is currently on 94. I am on 88. Despite some left-wing picks last week, I couldn't quite make any ground. Both of us got 5 correct.
Left wing or left field?
Both. Left field.
Just keep going.
Don't get political here. Left field. Now, here's the beautiful thing about confidence points. Even though Jesse and I both tipped 5 correct, Jesse actually won last week on confidence points 23-22, based on, I think it was mostly because I gave Sydney, no, that was the week before, wasn't it? That was the week before. Don't worry about it. But because one of those games, he gave more, I gave less, didn't win, etc., etc. That's why it's good.
The games that I lost were all very low confidence points ones.
That's right.
I think I gave Collingwood 1 when you got me on Essendon.
No,
I was low on Port to beat Dogs. Sorry, Dogs to beat Port.
You gave Collingwood 3, and I gave Essendon 1. So I actually only got 1 confidence point for that. That's kind of where it came to fruition. But total score for that, 73 plays 64. Even though that is a 9-point difference, very easy to overcome if the numbers go my way. And that's the wonderful thing about confidence points. High scoring, high drama. We love it. With that said, Jesse, without further ado, should we get into the games?
We shall. Now, you get the right to toss the coin here because you didn't lose the round, fair play to you, but you had lost the round previously. And in the case of a draw, the loser still loses. So would you like to go first or defer?
No, I'm deferring, and there's a really good reason for that. Call me it. Go on. Say it. Go on, say it. You going to call me a coward again?
No.
Good, because there's a reason for my madness this week, and there's a reason I'm deferring.
I'm going to call you a wall person because you're scuttling around in my walls, not willing to come and face me and take me on. Coward.
Yeah, there it is. No, there's a good reason for it, and it'll become clear as the round goes on. But we shall start, Jesse, with Friday night. Who we got?
I shall start, and I'm starting with Collingwood versus Geelong at the MCG. This really is a game that I'm looking forward to, and I'm hoping it's good because I'll be really cross if it's bad. I'm going with the Geelong Football Club to win this game. I think they're in nice form, and I'm allocating them 4 confidence points to get the job done here. I am relatively confident in Geelong's ability off the strength of their last fortnight. They were excellent against Essendon. They never gave Hawthorn a look at Goomba last week. I think they could do somewhere in the middle against this Collingwood side. I don't think Collingwood will be completely lost at sea, but I think if Geelong control this game like they have been, it's going to be an uphill battle for the Pies to get the job done. So Geelong with 4 confidence points for me. Liam, where are you standing on this?
It's hard to argue the things you've said. I mean, Collingwood have obviously not lost another one in my check this week, and adding to their list of woes, injury woes. And I've been pretty critical of Collingwood this year. I haven't. They've been good as you would expect them to be, but they haven't been like fantastic. And based on the last few weeks, Geelong have shown that they are coming back to play some of the football that they are known to play as Geelong. So I also have Geelong. Only 3 confidence points for me, but I am also going for the Geelong Cats. Next game.
Let's move on to 11:45 in the morning Perth time. Liam, we're hanging out for this one. We're going to have a dodgy punt viewing of what the corpse of Fremantle's top 4 hopes down at Launceston, because Hawthorn are hosting Fremantle in the lovely, and I say that loosely, University of Tasmania Stadium. You're up first here, Liam. Who are you?
You're so harsh on Tasmania. Why are you so harsh on Tasmania? It's lovely.
No, I'm not. Okay. Whatever you say.
They're going to build the stadium with the biggest timber roof in the world, apparently.
And it looks terrible. It looks so bad.
They'll be taking that mantle off like some random baseball stadium in Japan. So good for them. Good for you. Oh. Good for you, Tasmania. Good for you.
I'm sure Tasmania's lovely. It's just not a place for a 23-year-old.
No, it's wonderful. It's great.
Which does make me wonder how they're going to support an AFL team, but I digress. Move on.
There are still people. Doesn't matter. So we'll Hawthorn Fremantle. Look, this is a game that Fremantle have to win if they want to solidify themselves as not just a top 4 contender, but a finals contender in general. It's a very, very solid and tight clump all the way down to outside the 8. That said, playing Hawthorn in Tasmania, Hawthorn play that ground very, very well. But that's 2 buts. I'm going to back my boys in. I'm going to back Freo to win this. I'm going to put 5 confidence points on it. Not higher. I think that's about right. 5 confidence points because, look, we have all the tools. We have everything there, and I'm betting on our boys taking some confidence into this, and riding high on the last 2 wins, seeing what the future holds in terms of September action, and backing them in to take it home, Jesse.
Yeah, I tend to agree, but I'm also caveating that this is a really big danger game. So I'm also tipping Fremantle, but I am somewhat further down on the confidence scale. I'm at 2 confidence points here.
Wow.
And the reason being is that Hawthorn do play Tasmania very well. And if you take out the Geelong game and you look at that game in isolation versus the rest of their last 2 months, they are going well enough to defeat this Fremantle side. If you take out the fact it's my football team, I'd be saying, yeah, Fremantle should get their job done here. But I've seen this too many times before. So Fremantle with 2 confidence points for me. Hopefully they can get the job done. Liam, hopefully we have something to cheer about on Saturday morning with our nice, I'm assuming you drink something weird like a mocha as your coffee order. Coffee's in hand for an early start.
No. Long Mac, extra shot for me. I need I've got like a caffeine immunity. I need lots of it. Otherwise it doesn't do anything.
I don't think I've ever seen you drink coffee, or like if I have, very rarely.
Yeah. No, I do. But
okay.
There we go. Let's move on, shall we?
Let's move on to the other 11:45 game, because why would we have games start at separate time slots? That's just silly. We'll have Sydney versus North Melbourne at the SCG. I'm up first here. I'm going with South Melbourne by a margin of 7 confidence points. My teleprompter thing fell down, so I have to kind of angle my head now to find it. Stupid.
You can find it. Just go get it. Get your sticky note, Jesse. Chuck it back up.
It's okay. Fine. I can still see it. It's fine.
Okay.
It's not the end of the world. Just like losing last week wasn't the end of the world for Sydney, they can recover from that. North are up and about, which is probably why they haven't been allocated the full 9 confidence points here.
It's interesting.
The Swans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I do think Sydney have more than enough in the locker. So Sydney with 7 for me. Liam, where are you standing on this?
Sydney with 9. I think if Sydney lose this game,
yeah.
Wow. What has happened? What has happened to them? I mean, if they lose this, and obviously a few other results go the way that they should go or might go, they're just going to bring themselves right back down to the clump. They're only going to have 1 game in hand after being 1.5 games ahead. Yeah, so they're going to be right back in the mix. They're not going to want to lose this game. It's against North, and as good as North have, and as fun as they are to watch, I can't see them getting the job done at the SCG. Fremantle were a much better side, only just got that job done. St Kilda, who are a much better side than North Melbourne, as much as you might agree with that. They are. Yeah.
I wouldn't say much better. I'd say that they're better, but I wouldn't say much better.
Put that together with SCG, you have 9 confidence points for me.
Fair. Moving further into Saturday afternoon for what actually looks like to be a decent little game, this, at least in theory. That's Western Bulldogs versus Carlton at Marvel. Liam, you're up first here. Are you buying into Carlton even after a tough loss last week?
Yeah. Yeah. But this is one of those games, right? The Bulldogs are funny. Because like you watch how they play. I didn't find it very funny. No, I know you did because you didn't tip them. And that's fair. That's fine. I know you're very competitive. But I think they're one of those teams that you literally have no idea. They're very Freo-esque in this pursuit, in the fact that you don't know which team's going to turn up. They need to win this game, the Bulldogs. They absolutely need to win this game. But so do Carlton. Obviously, different stakes at hand. Bulldogs to keep them in touch or in the 8 and keep them going. I think they're in the 8. Where are they?
They are 11th.
No. They need this win then to get back up into the mix of the 8. Whereas Carlton need this to solidify their top 2 credentials for a home prelim. Nope. Home first semi-final. How do they do the finals? That confused me. Qualifying. And then it doesn't matter. I tried to explain the final system to a friend the other day who doesn't watch footy, and they were like, what? So
that sums it up.
Yeah. But no, I'm going to back Carlton in for this one. I think they'll rebound just fine. 6 confidence points. That's how confident I am that they're going to rebound. The Bulldogs will probably win. Who knows? Go on, Jesse.
This is going to make a really interesting back end of this tipping because I've been a lot more austere with my confidence points earlier than you have. I'm going Carlton too, but I'm going to go with 3 confidence points because to me there's a lot of similarities, a lot of overlap between the way the Bulldogs and the Giants play. And I just get the sense that although the Bulldogs were rubbish last week, this is a game that probably suits them a lot more. And in hindsight, it was a poor tip from me to tip the Bulldogs last week. But I feel like this is a game more suited to them. So I think Carlton still should get the job done. And you look at it on face value, you'd expect Carlton to win here. But I'm not particularly enamored with Carlton's ability to put teams away at times this year. They seem to have struggled with that. And the Bulldogs are a side where, as good as Carlton can be in those last few minutes of games, the Bulldogs can be one of those sides to overrun you late when they get guys like Ugle-Hagan fit and firing, get Treloar using the ball well. If Bont decides there's one of his 6 mandated contract for 3 Brownlow votes games, then that can swing the game entirely. So Carlton for me is still on top, but only with the 3 confidence points here. I'm a little bit more timid than you on going all in on the Blues in this game.
Fair shout. Who's next?
We have Adelaide versus St Kilda on a Saturday night. Why? Why? Why is this not the 11:10 Sunday game? Like, in all seriousness.
I couldn't answer that question for you in earnest, Jesse. I don't know. It's definitely got an afternoon slot kind of vibe about it.
Well, I'm up first. I'm going Adelaide, and I'm going Adelaide with 5 confidence points. Don't care what happened last round. Neither side are very good. Adelaide are better at home. If Adelaide win, they get out of the bottom 4. They have a better percentage. They are in pretty dismal form, though. One win in their last 4, or 1 win in their last 5, sorry, which is pretty bad. I mean, also 1 win in their last 4, but for dramatic effect, we'll go 1 win in their last 5. But I just get the sense that this is the right game for them. They seem to be slowly turning things around. Losing Rankin will be a blow, who, contrary to what I said in the main episode, does actually play for Adelaide. But I just get the sense that this is the right game for the Crows. So Adelaide with 5 for me. Liam, where are you going on this?
Well, a couple, I think it was last week before, I said Adelaide at home. I just feel like they're going to do something great at home. And they won. They won at home. But here's my dilemma. I'm going to call it the loser's dilemma because I'm currently losing. And I need to get some points back.
Occam's razor?
It's like Occam's razor, yeah.
Liam's razor. I must tip St Kilda on Saturday night against Adelaide.
I am. Yep, St Kilda with 1 confidence point. This is one of the...
You coward. That's even worse than not tipping them at all. 1 confidence point. Come on, have a go. Bump it up to 8.
Well, I do have 8 in my back pocket. To be fair. No, this is the reason. This is one of the games where this is one of the reasons why I wanted you to go first, because this is one of the games I needed to see where you were going.
Oh, you knew I wasn't going to
choose
tip
the other-
St Kilda. Please.
It's not just this one. It's not just this game, Jesse. There's more coming up that I'll need to know.
Oh, you wanted to Azkaban as well. Okay, fair enough.
St Kilda with 1. No reason other than I wanted to Adelaide, but I'm not going to because I need to get some back. I'm at the risk it all or win nothing at the moment. So stuff it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The other Saturday night game, I'd say this is more watchable. That's probably generous. Melbourne versus Essendon at the MCG. You're up first here. Liam, where are you going with this?
Looking back at the points I've assigned previously, I may have undershot this one a little bit, but that's okay. Essendon for me, I think they're the better team across the board at the moment. Melbourne have not been playing great footy, but then again, Melbourne have also just been like, yeah, we'll play today. So who knows? But I think Essendon should get the job done here. I've got 4 confidence points on them. I'm going to go 4 because something in the back of my head just still tells me it's still Essendon, which is really mean and probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's a team that I've been, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like we were so used to Geelong winning all the time last year, not so much this year. Essendon is the team I'm just used to seeing like not win. It's really, and this year when they're doing really well, but I'm tipping them, but only with 4. Melbourne have not had a good season. They should be playing like their lives depend on it because it kind of does. But we'll see what happens on the weekend. Jesse.
Yeah, as I have had questions about Essendon this season, so I'm not dismissing that. But I have, Riddler level conundrums when it comes to Melbourne at the moment. They're just not very good. So I'm tipping Essendon. I'm tipping Essendon with 6 confidence points. I think they should be able to get the job done here. If they can't, that's a big gaping hole in their premiership hopes, which honestly, at this point in the season now, we can start saying that, Sydney, Carlton, Fremantle, Essendon are leading the premiership race by virtue of being in that top 4 18 rounds into the season. It's just how it is. So their premiership hopes, I think, would take a bit of a blow if they couldn't deal with Melbourne here. These are the type of ugly, sticky games they need to be able to win. I think they should be able to. So 6 confidence points for me. Let's move in to Sunday. Oh, no. All these games are bad.
Yeah. Sundays have not been great for footy the last few weeks. No, it just...
Well, they've taken us off them, and that's made it worse.
As in Freo?
Yeah.
I don't can't remember the last time.
We're back next Sunday. We're back next Sunday.
Okay.
Against Melbourne.
Sunday afternoon. I don't mind a Sunday afternoon game.
I love a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. It's good. Anyway, we digress.
But this Sunday afternoon, we have Gold Coast versus Port Adelaide at the People First Stadium on the Gold Coast. Great news for Damien Hardwick. Great news for Liam, who's already pretty much shown his hand and said he's tipping Gold Coast here. I'll put him out of his misery. I'm tipping Port. I'm tipping Port with 1 confidence point because you can't have any confidence in Port. They're pretty bad. That's on YouTube, Liam. That's out there forever. Your digital footprint has been altered.
That's fine.
Port with 1 for me. I don't like Port Adelaide's brand, although they were so good against Gold Coast on Saturday. Actually, that's unfair. I do like Port's brand when they're playing well, but they're susceptible to stinkers. And Gold Coast has been a really tricky game this year. In saying that, I think that loss will have a real rattle effect on the Suns, having lost to North on the weekend. I think that's going to rattle some cages. So Port with the 1 confidence point for me, with the caveat that it is only 1 confidence point for a reason.
Coward, back it in. Put more on it. Put your 8 on it there. Idiot. Damn it.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was losing this competition and the main one.
Yeah, I'm losing.
Must have missed that part.
No, you didn't miss that part. You're definitely winning both of them. Okay, so I was half expecting it because we had this conversation previously where we thought that Gold Coast were no chance against Collingwood based on previous week's performance. Yet they come in and they beat Collingwood.
Yeah.
Now, I was upset initially when you said that you were going to tip Port Adelaide because that's kind of where I wanted to go. But that said, I'm not too upset with that you've chosen them because it is still Gold Coast at home. So I'm taking Gold Coast at home with 2 confidence points.
Okay. So this is a pretty ineffectual game then, I think, for the most part for us.
Yeah. I mean, I'll check the score. That's fine. You can't watch them all. There's a lot of footy on a weekend. It's a lot of footy. And this isn't our job, everybody. Like if this is our job, we'd watch every single game, but it's just not our job.
To be fair, the way some of those commentators run, I don't think it is their job, and they don't watch half the games. Fremantle's playing in Victoria. Oh, there's is that Hayden Ballantyne? No, that's Andy Brayshaw. Sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a Channel 7 commentator, allegedly. They're pretty bad at player recognition for Fremantle. It's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, it is. Switzkowski's. All right, let's go on to the next game.
1:20 on Sunday afternoon, Perth time. It is Richmond versus the Giants at the MCG. You're up first here, Liam, for the last time this round. Who are you going with here?
I'm going the Giants. I don't think Richmond has enough to do much at the moment, unfortunately. Bless their cotton stocks, but Giants with 8. Nothing really to analyze. I don't think. I think if the Giants, are serious about this year and finishing it out strong, they'll repeat what they did on the weekend, and that's play some really gunning football. Glitch in the matrix. GWS run and gun. GWS with 8. Tsunami time. Jesse.
Yeah, not a lot of difference here. GWS with 8. Richmond just aren't here this season. That's fine. They've had a very good run. Giants, they need this win. It's a desperation thing for them. I expect them to get the job done. Final game on Sunday at 2:40 p.m. It's West Coast hosting Brisbane. Tricky game, this, in terms of should I have given it 9, 8, or 7? I gave it 9 to Brisbane. West Coast form at the moment has been diabolical. I did consider making it my 7 on the basis that West Coast at home are always a chance, but I remembered how bad they were against Hawthorn, and that thought went pretty quickly. So Brisbane with 9 for me here. If they can't win this, then, what was the point of even turning up for that middle stanza of the season? Because that would be dreadful. Liam?
Yeah, correct. I did go Brisbane with 7. Not so much because it was West Coast at home. I don't think West Coast are good enough to beat Brisbane. Although if Brisbane turn up and play like they did against us earlier in the season, then West Coast are every single chance to win.
Yeah, I agree.
But Brisbane with 7 at the tail end of the season, very different competition to what it was 17 rounds ago. So yeah, Brisbane would be in dire straits if they didn't get this job done. And that's about all there is to say about that.
Perfect. We've just done the tips. Wouldn't you know that? Look at us go. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure you have subscribed on YouTube. Smack the bell for notifications so you make sure you have time to get these in before your work footy tipping competition. If anyone is relying on our tips for their work competition this year, A, we get half the prize money, and B, that'll be 0 because I don't know why you'd be doing that. Thank you for watching. We hope you've had a good time, and we'll see you again next week on the Dodgy Punts AFL podcast, Just the Tips edition.
Bye, everybody.